What's up guys, I'm Justin Burkholz. Today's video is about my morning ritual. And this ritual is a part of my rational system of mysticism that I created based on the writings of St. Francis of Assisi. So if you're interested in learning more about that, check out the video I made on him. But it's also informed by the latest science so that it provides maximum holistic benefit and starts my day off in the best way possible. But before we get to the good stuff, if you're interested in mysticism, history of religion, spiritual practices, or science-based protocols for improving longevity, health, and wellness, and want to support my effort to bring this content in an accessible format to a wide audience for free here on YouTube, make sure to hit subscribe and consider supporting me on Patreon or with a one-time donation. Those links can be found below. Productivity is all about momentum, and the best way to ensure a productive day is to start the day off right. But most people are completely unintentional about how they start their day, and because of this, they have a hard time getting up in the morning, just kind of haphazardly get through it. And I get that. That was me for most of my life. And that's exactly why I created this ritual. I knew I needed to fix my morning routine, but I also know that I have a really hard time forming new habits. I always have. So I wanted to create something that was fun, felt good, and made me want to get up in the morning, but also set me up for a productive day and met my self-care needs. So this ritual needed to check a lot of boxes. I was also living in Seattle at the time, which is cold and dark for almost the entire year, and I really needed some way to invoke some light and warmth in my life. So I researched both science-based and spiritual tradition-based optimal practices for the morning to try and put something together. That's when I realized that I had been intuitively doing something very similar to what the final ritual looks like. I was going out into a nearby park in the sun and doing this flow of yoga and meditation. It turned out that I only needed to make a few small changes and codify that practice to check all of the boxes for my morning ritual. So that's exactly what I did. Honestly, all of my spiritual practices have been created through a similar process, a combination of intuition and research, because I've found that that is the best way to reliably create powerful and effective practices and rituals. The resulting morning ritual includes a gratitude practice, yoga, prayer, and meditation, split up into 5 steps. So it goes like this. Step 1 is prayer/gratitude for the sun. Step 2 is a round of sun salutations, so that's yoga. And then step 3 is meditation. Step 4 is another round of the sun salutations. And then step 5 is a gratitude practice for yourself for doing the practice and for everyone else and everything else in your life that you're grateful for. And I've experimented with slight variations over the years, like I do with all of my rituals, to perfect it. So I want to go through each step and give specific guidance on how to get the most out of it, and then we'll go through the whole thing once so you can see how it all works together. And of course, there is a link below to the ritual guide on my website, so you can easily pull that up and help it have that to guide you through the practice until you have it memorized. Okay, so starting at the beginning. First of all, you will get so much more out of this practice if you do it outside, period. Now, I know that going outside first thing in the morning is probably the last thing that you want to do, especially if it's cold outside, but this actually makes a huge difference. This is due to the effects of sunlight exposure, which is very different than any kind of artificial lighting. Getting bright sunlight in your eyes first thing in the morning is the best way to set yourself up to have the energy and positive mood you need to be productive, and it will also help you fall asleep easier at night. If you want to learn more about that, I made a video all about light exposure and circadian rhythm. Check that out, it's really cool. This is why my directions start by telling you to face the sun. And it's a good example of how even the small directions that I give in the guide are actually very important. Every single part of the ritual has been meticulously designed, from the directions you face to the gestures to the meditation. It's all based on a lot of research and practice. Okay, so you start outside facing the sun with your hands in prayer position in front of your chest. And we're going to raise our hands out and recite a short, simple prayer, which is a quotation from St. Francis's Canticle of the Sun. Okay, so you start outside facing the sun, and we're going to start off with a few simple gestures and a short prayer. Okay, so we're going to start off in prayer position. That means your hands together in front of your chest. And I like to just face the sun, close my eyes for a second, and then open the hands up, the head up, and recite this short prayer by St. Francis of Assisi. Be praised, my Lord, through all your creatures, especially through my Lord, brother, Son, who brings the day and you give light through him. And he is beautiful and radiant in all his splendor. Of you, Most High, he bears the likeness. And then end with this little expression of gratitude. I give thanks to my brother soul for his light and warmth and the life which I enjoy. I like to keep the verbal part of my prayers short because prayer is not about what you say. It's about what you desire. So the most important part of this prayer is not the words, but the feeling within you. So make sure that you're not mindlessly repeating these words. That does nothing for you. Instead, take your time. Intone the words slowly and intentionally and feel gratitude well up within you, and don't immediately move on to the next step. This is very important. Take at least 15 seconds to let that feeling of warmth and gratitude sink in. Alright, give it some time to sink into your body. Because while negative emotions make a strong impact and impression almost instantly as soon as you feel them, it's not that way with positive emotions. They take longer to sink in and make a real lasting impression. And bracketing your practice with moments of gratitude associates that practice with positive emotions in your body and mind, which both makes you more likely to repeat it and makes it more enjoyable and rewarding when you do. So that's step one. Step two is a short yoga practice to bring our awareness into our body and breath and get our blood flowing and body ready to sit for meditation, which is really what yoga is for. For the morning ritual, this consists of just 3 rounds of traditional sun salutations. This is a great whole body flow to stretch your core and shoulders so you can sit without back pain or discomfort. But just like in step 1, what is going on inside you is just as, if not more, important than what you're doing externally. You want to bring your intention entirely to your breath and body while you do this. That is why my directions are so specific about when to inhale and exhale as you do the flow. Your breath, attention, and movement should synchronize during the practice so you get your whole body system in sync. Once again, this is going to help with the next step of meditation. A lot of people have a hard time getting their mind and body to calm down when they try to meditate, but this sets you up for success so you can go deeper and get more benefit out of your practice. I'll demonstrate how to do the sun salutations at the end so you can see exactly what I'm talking about if you're not familiar. Now we're ready to move on to step 3, which is our meditation. The meditation that I use during my morning ritual is an advanced Sufi light practice that is usually only taught to initiates and people who have been meditating and doing other contemplative practices for quite a while. So because of this, it may take a long time and a lot of practice to really get it down. But I see this as a bonus because you probably won't be able to get all the way through it right away. That means you can monitor your progress daily by paying attention to how you do. Think of it like a fitness goal, like running a marathon or lifting a certain amount of weight that you might not be able to do right now, but you know if you work towards it incrementally, you'll get better and better, and eventually you'll be able to do it. It might even be easy, after a certain amount of time. Okay, so don't judge yourself. Instead, just celebrate each day that you are doing something difficult, working towards a goal, and learning something new. Even if you don't have much time and can only sit for a few minutes, do it. This keeps the habit formation on track, and it is certainly better than nothing. Okay, so the meditation goes like this. Start by turning your back to the sun that you've been facing this whole time and finding a comfortable position for meditation. I recommend a seated position for most people rather than lying down, but that doesn't mean that you need to sit in lotus position, with your legs crossed, like a yogi or something. That's going to be very difficult for most people, if not impossible, if you're used to sitting in chairs and on couches and stuff all the time. You just won't have the right, hip flexibility to do it. So you can do a seated meditation in a chair. Is probably the best way for most people, or something simple like a normal cross-legged pose on the ground, or if you know what half lotus position is, that one's usually pretty easy as well. If you want to know more about that, my video on Raja Yoga, or kind of classical teachings of yoga, I actually break down the positions for yoga a little bit more. But basically, all you need to worry about is that you find a position you can sit comfortably and sit still for an extended period of time. That's pretty much it. Once again, don't worry about the position too much. Just find something you can sit comfortable and sit still, and make sure that your spine is aligned. Being mindful of your posture during meditation will help you be more mindful of your posture in everyday life and in other circumstances. And posture is vitally important to longevity, health, and wellness. So make sure that you pay attention and that your hips, your ribs, your neck, and your skull are all aligned, straight, and correct. Awesome, but we're not quite done yet. So let's move on to step 4 of the ritual, which is just another round of sun salutations. So stand up, turn around, and face the sun again, and repeat the exact same yoga flow as before. This will help wake you up, stretch you out, and get your blood flowing again after sitting for meditation. And there's only one quick step left before we're done. We need to bracket our practice with gratitude, so we had gratitude at the beginning. We need a little gratitude practice at the end to finish things up. So stand facing the sun again with palms together in prayer position. I usually close my eyes for this, and just notice how your body feels and what's going on in your mind. Maybe notice how it's different from when you started. And make sure you take at least 15 seconds again to just feel gratitude for yourself for doing the practice. And during this time, I also like to express gratitude for all of the people in my life, for my pets, for my home, etc. And even the things that are challenging and difficult to me at that time. And the reason for that is that those difficulties, those challenges, those trials and tribulations, those are all opportunities for you to grow. So I like to express gratitude for those so that I can reframe them and take on the day from a more positive mindset. And that's it. That's the morning ritual. With that rock solid foundation, you're ready to take on whatever the day throws at you, and you can feel confident that you set yourself up for success and took care of yourself first thing before going out into the world. So the best version of you will be there for each and every person that you meet that day. Okay, once you've gotten comfortable, take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, letting yourself relax more deeply with each exhale. Just to get the practice started. Then take a few minutes to just be mindful and observe your breath. Just notice how it feels. Notice if there's any tension in your core or your back or your shoulders or throat or anything like that. Just observe. Don't try to control it. Okay? And just keep your attention on your breath. We're going to start focusing our attention. Okay? So if you notice your attention wandering to other thoughts or other things, don't judge yourself or anything like that. Just gently guide yourself right back to your breath. Now, once you've got that down, you can start to visualize all of your fear, guilt, and shame flowing out of you, starting from your hands and your feet, flowing through your body and out your left nostril. And when you inhale, you can visualize sacred radiant light coming in through your right nostril, up through your third eye to the crown of your head, and then falling down and filling your heart with light and love. If you're able to do that, then you can move on to silently reciting the corresponding words with each inhale and exhale. You can find those words in the Ritual Guide blog post. And once you've got that down, you can just repeat that process for as long as you want or, have time available. Now, like I said, I do want to just demonstrate this for you so that you can see exactly what it looks like when you put all of those pieces together. Now, don't worry, I won't bore you by making you watch me sit and meditate. I will just, cut that part out. I'll go through it quickly. I just want you to see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to go through the ritual one time through for you real quick just to demonstrate. I'm not going to explain anything because I've already gone through all of the parts before. So, and obviously I am indoors. I don't really have the capability to film outdoors at this time. I just have very limited equipment. So, pretend that I'm outdoors facing the sun. Praise be you, my Lord, through all your creatures, especially through our Lord, brother, Son, who brings the day, and you give light through him. And he is beautiful and radiant in all his splendor. Of you, Most High, he bears the likeness. I give thanks to my brother soul for his light and warmth and the life which I enjoy. Alright, well that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave those in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And once again, thank you so much for visiting my channel and supporting my work. If you like the video, please hit the like button, hit subscribe and that little notification bell so you don't miss any of the other upcoming content. And once again, huge thank you to my patrons. Your support is greatly appreciated. I'm so glad that you enjoy my work and find it worthwhile. If anyone watching would like to support me, I do have a Patreon and the option to do a one-time donation, and those links can be found below. Alright, well, thanks again and see you again soon.